Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Dad Religion Podcast. I'd like to do a quick shout out to all the escalator repairmen out there. Keep doing what you do. My name is Jason, and that over there is Jimbo. How you doing, buddy?
Doing well. Good morning. How we doing?
Good morning. I'm doing all right, man. How's your week been?
My week sucked. I'm still getting over a cold. You can probably hear the nasally sound that I'm making. My head's still a little bit full. I got a
Yeah.
lot of moco, man. It's crazy. Been going crazy with the snot just like flying out of me. It's nuts. I think I've
Yummy.
lost weight. I know it's great,
Yummy, yummy, yummy.
but I'm feeling better. I'm feeling better. Went out on a date last night with my wife. Went had some good food. Had a good time. So,
Where'd you go?
limoncello, it's walking distance right here. So, but it's
Everything's
nice.
from walking distance from you.
We've got, dude, honestly, our plan was to go, there's a little winery, and we were going to go to the winery, get a glass of wine, then we're going to go to Limoncello, have dinner, then go and hit the coin house, play some video games, and drink some Cali creamers. We didn't make it to the coin house. We had too much wine at dinner, so stumbled home. No Uber, no parking, no driving. It's awesome.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect. I can't believe the coin house is still there.
Yeah, they don't have to pay a lot in wages. They've only got 2 or 3 people that are there. They need somebody to like replace the kegs when they run out, but almost everything's on automatic. They just have someone's got to be there to receive the money, basically. So
Yeah, it's a great concept. Like
uh,
you said, you don't have to have any employees.
yeah,
You have a
hardly.
ton of good beer.
Yep, yep.
Uh, you don't
What
have to pour it.
you're gonna get it for a good price because everybody in the local community wants you to have their beer because it's like advertising. People are there, like it's like a tasting room for their shit. It's great.
Yeah, and then you
Plus, you
get
you
to
get to
play a
play
bunch of
80s and
video
90s
games.
video games. It's so much fun. You
Yeah,
get to play Pac-Man on a full wall. It's fucking great.
yeah, it's a cool spot. I've been there a few times. It's pretty cool. So
How was your week?
it was all right. I went and got fitted for a suit yesterday.
For what
Um,
occasion?
I have a wedding I have to go to.
Uh, cool.
It's a black tie event, and I needed uh, I needed a new suit. So it was my excuse to get a new suit
Cool.
and have that basically that was it for me to get a new suit.
The whole
But I
week.
needed it anyway for the wedding. So
That's cool.
there's I'm not a big fan of going to weddings. Not a big wedding guy. Don't like them. But whatever. It is what it
Yeah,
is.
they are what they are. Yeah.
So MLB playoffs, buddy.
Yeah,
That was
dude.
rough.
It was looking
That was
hairy for
rough.
both of our teams for a minute. More hairy for yours than for mine. But dude, yeah, it was so funny because if you cut like 4 months ago when we first started doing this, you and I were like, because our teams are just like, and now we're like, oh Jesus,
uh,
baseball fucking blows. Uh,
I hated baseball this week. I think I texted you a few times. I'm never watching again. I I don't get it. I don't understand. They still have a chance to blow. Like if they how do you
they're in the
blow a
playoffs.
15 and a half? Yeah, I don't care. How do you blow a
Yeah.
15 and a half game lead? How? How
It's
can you
all
not
it's very
pull
expensive.
off a few of those games?
The
It's
law of
disgusting.
averages. The law of averages say that you should have won at least a couple of those games. The problem is something gets in your head, right? And then like you're up by 3 runs going into the bottom of the ninth, and they get a runner on, and you're suddenly like, oh fuck, the whole thing goes again. Then you start making errors. Don't make the best throw. You're hesitant on a ball. You're thinking about something else when you should be wondering whether you're going to try and hit the curveball to right field or turn on a fastball or what. You get what I'm saying? Like that little teeny bit.
It gets in my head also when I'm not playing. I'm
Oh
like,
yeah.
I'm
Oh
like, if we go to extra innings, I'm like, oh yeah, they got a man on second. It's done. We're not gonna move the runner. They are. That's how it's
yeah.
gonna be. Same thing happened in Boston 2 nights ago. Boston had a chance to clinch. We were up 3-0, and then slowly but surely the bullpen comes in and fucks it up. Like fucks it up. Like they can't pitch. They can't. It's these guys cannot hit the ball. Like yesterday they won. So as I was saying, I'm very cynical, especially being a Detroit fan. Let me tell you, whether it's football or baseball, I always, unless we have a comfortable lead, I'm thinking we're going to lose in that lead. It sucks.
Well,
It's sad. Um, and when we don't, I'm very surprised, and that sucks. It's sad. Uh, we can't go into the playoffs the way we are. I mean, our pitching is atrocious. Well, there's nothing else we can do. It is what it is. But uh, if we don't get hot and just don't start, if we don't start being gritty because we have to, because we don't have that one guy who's going to get up there and hit us. No one's scared of anybody on our team, I don't think. They're not going to get up and walk you. They're not going to get up and be like, okay, we're going to intentionally walk this guy because he's,
they'll pitch to
we don't
everybody.
have that. We don't have that guy. We don't have a pitcher either, other than Scooble, who people are like, oh, okay, he's gonna kill us. You know what I mean? It's just a bunch of average old men. So
And
I don't know,
well,
man.
and also you have a bunch of young guys who still are young guys. Like they're not quite.
I'm talking mainly the bullpen, mainly the bullpen.
So like fans, I always think are normally like terrible Monday morning quarterbacks. But you and I both called it this year because when neither of our teams did a whole lot at the trade deadline, we both kind of gave one of these like what the fuck, and that's exactly and every single concern that we voiced at that point for each of our teams all manifested. They've all come true. So it's I get the only thing is I like my team. Suddenly we have all of our starting pitchers. Okay, which is a lot. We've got like 7 starting pitchers. We could throw up a 7-man rotation, which means that we could drop 2 of them into the bullpen and take care of our bullpen, which is just trash. It's really bad. They're the same thing, dude. If the starter is out in the 7th and he has less than a 2-run lead, I'm worried. You know, this dude,
Yeah.
this dude, Tanner Scott, who pitched for San Diego, I think last year. The dude all year last year, 2 blown saves, right? Got good shit. Throws in the high 90s. Got a great, crazy, cool slider with a lot of movement on it. That dude has blown 10 saves this year. And fucking Roberts keeps on like he's just we paid for him to be our closer, so he's going to keep on trying to make him our closer. And like the dude has lost 10 games for us. That's a big fucking margin. I don't know. He didn't necessarily lose 10 games for us. He blew 10 saves. So of those, we lost probably at least half of those. So that's on him. You know,
Yeah. How come Kershaw's not playing in the
he, he is. He's
playoffs?
he's going to be in the bullpen. Kershaw and Sheehan just moved to the
Oh,
bullpen.
okay.
Well, at least for
Yeah.
for the first round, you've only got 3 games in the wild card series. So I guess you look at the wild card series and the what is it, the division series consecutively, right? Okay, so there's a full 7-game slot where you've got to manage your pitchers. But Kershaw came out of the bullpen day before yesterday, and he looked fucking dynamite. Like it's crazy. He's a dude who he's a legend, and he's just a great fucking pitcher and understands a role. And he's like, this is it for me. So I'm just gonna come in and do what the fuck I do. And he looks fucking awesome. The idea of him coming out of the bullpen in the playoffs makes me now think that maybe we do have a chance. But we got to see. 13 games, man. 13
You're the
games.
you're the Dodgers. Stop it.
Well, it's
Um.
true, but the Phillies are great,
Stop.
and then
Okay.
Milwaukee is really fucking good, and both of those teams
Hmm.
have kind of kicked our ass this year. But you're no, I know, I know, I know.
The only reason I asked that question is because I remember him pitch. They said it was his last start at home, and I'm like, what?
Tonight is
Like
his
he's not
last.
gonna.
It's no, they said in the regular season. They just meant like he kind of sprung it on everyone at the end because he's known all season, but he wasn't going to say anything till the end because he didn't want a big deal to be made. Like every ballpark he goes to, where they're like, "Oh, this legend," no, no, no. He just doesn't like that kind of stuff, really.
He looks
So,
tired.
dude,
When
you
I
should
see him pitch,
when we clinched and he had his shirt off in the locker room. I said, "Dude, he's already working on that dad bod. Check that out. It's nice. He's got the chi-chis and shit.
well, tonight, Tigers win, Guardians lose, we win the
You get the
Central.
division.
So,
And then
uh,
you've 1 day off. 1 day off to rest your pitcher.
yeah, yeah. So, I don't know, whatever. I'm a firm believer in like you go on streaks, and we've gone on some pretty bad losing streaks, but usually after those losing streaks, we go on some really good winning streaks. So I'm hoping, I'm praying. The playoffs are it's a whole new season, but I'm hoping that they just get hot right now since we just got really extremely freezing cold.
I agree with that.
So hopefully, I don't want to play the Guardians though. So there is a chance we'd have to play them first round, and that's not who I want to see.
Um, how does it have to line up? So it's between now. It's the last two slots are going to be you in Boston, right? Because Houston got eliminated yesterday. Nobody else is in. Am I right?
Yeah. So
Yeah, you and
so
Boston, Cleveland. One of you guys is going to win the Central. The other two are going to win the last two wild card positions.
well, Boston's not in the Central, but
Mm, well, yeah, right.
yeah. So if we lose and Guardians win, we play the Guardians. If we both win, the Guardians win the Central, and I think we either play New York or the Blue Jays. If Guardians lose, and we win the Central, and I don't remember who we have to play. I think
Crazy.
I think it's a I think it's the same, the Guardians.
You
So
know what? The Blue Jays, though, that's a team that you might be able to get past in a 3-game series. They're because
I think we can, sorry, go ahead.
they're really streaky. You know, Yankees always concern me. I don't ever want to meet the Yankees in postseason until it's the World Series. They just history. You're
Last
playing
time
against
we
all
played
time.
them,
Yeah.
we swept them last month, I think.
That's good.
I mean, I'm not the only team I'm scared of is the Guardians because they
They
always get us.
yeah.
Anyways,
You
moving
know,
on. Let's
before we move on, one last thing. There's different types of heartbreak that baseball offers you because baseball is designed to break your heart, and it gives you a variety, right? You could be the heartbreak, like the Angels, who are always in the cellar, but they've won one or two, and or you could be the heartbreak of the Padres, who still, they've had some good teams, they just haven't won the big deal. You could be the
yeah.
heartbreak of like the Boston was for all those years where they get there and they get so close and they're within one strike and no, they don't get it. Right. It's just different. What would you rather have break your heart? That you're not in contention at all, that your team just sucks, or that you get there and then you lose in the last round, or that you lose in the playoffs?
I would rather suck and not get there.
It's easier. You
Sorry.
You're to
Hey, I
process.
don't have to worry about it. I already know what's happening going
But
in. I
that
don't have to worry
yeah.
about it. Like, I wouldn't
So
even watch the playoffs because I'm just a diehard Detroit fan no matter what. I get into the sports for my teams, except for NFL. I know a lot about the NFL, but any like baseball, I probably wouldn't watch at all because I don't watch much TV unless my team's playing. I probably wouldn't watch at all. But I I think starting off this podcast with sports is probably the bad idea because we
because we
probably
could talk.
lost about uh we probably get what, like 12 viewers. We probably lost 8 of them already.
Sorry.
That's my fault. I did it.
All
I
right. I
started it.
like I like talking
This
about
whole
sports, man.
this whole time we're talking about, I'm like, oh, there goes another person clicking off. There goes another person clicking off. Hey, let's talk about the escalator. You know about the escalator?
Well, you're gonna have to fill me in on the escalator. I know a little bit because you told me before we got going, but that was not on my radar. I was sick all week, but so
So let's talk about diversion and making things up to make other stories go away. That happens a lot lately. Where's the
mm,
Epstein files? Anyway,
yeah,
Trump and his lovely wife were getting ready to go up an escalator at the UN conference, and it suddenly stopped. So they had to end up walking up the escalator. And then
surprise
now
Secret Service didn't tackle him on the escalator. That would
um
sorry.
and then he was given a speech, and I guess the teleprompter went out, so he had to go off the cuff, which he does that all the time anyway. So, and then
Isn't
I
he
guess there
always
was
off the cuff?
something with the sound, you know. And now he's saying it's what is he saying? That it's three they're like targeting him basically. The
Yeah,
sabotage. So
yeah.
basically it's
Triple
sabotage.
triple sabotage
Triple sabotage. Like, oh, let's stop the escalator when he's going up. Oh, that'll get him.
because that's how
That'll
I do
get
it.
him.
Yep. Wow.
I mean, come on. If like, can we just get to the point of everything we're trying to all this shit that's out there? This administration just loves to divert you to other shit. It's wild. Why?
Because that's what
They'll try anything and see if it'll stick on the wall. Like it does not matter.
the con
Like,
artist does, right? He's always look at this over here, look at that over there. The illusionist, like that's
yeah,
how it
man,
works.
it's wild. I don't get it. What do you think? What do you think? You think he was sabotaged?
Well, no, I mean, even if it was a joke, it's not a very funny joke, unless you were sitting there, dude. I mean, okay, I can imagine like if you're like a 19-year-old and you're a maintenance worker on that elevator and you know that Donald Trump's gonna get stuck on that elevator, I can see you laughing a little bit about that. But uh, I think
I
the security protocol would never, ever, ever allow something like that to happen. There's just no way, you know.
The thing is, I don't think you can just stop it like that. You got to hit that button, on the side of the escalator to
Or
stop it.
something's got to go wrong, and then the emergency
Yeah,
kicks in. But
it could have broke, you know. I just thought that was funny. And
a
then
big dude,
another.
maybe maximum weight was achieved.
Oh, he's not that big. That was a low blow, buddy.
Sorry.
I have no words for that because I'm not a small guy. So I also he's sending troops to war ravaged Portland. What the
Uh,
fuck?
yeah.
You know what? He needs to read the Constitution. I think someone needs to read it to him. They need to go over it with him. Someone who doesn't have any skin in the game. Maybe he'll listen. Maybe he'll understand because we don't send our troops into our own cities unless it's desperately needed.
Yeah.
Um, and it's not desperately needed in Portland. He's just picking blue cities to try to freaking
Pick
intimidate,
fight.
I guess.
He's trying to
Pick a
pick fight
fight, yeah.
because then
Yeah.
the other side comes out and fights back, and then he claims that that was them first striking federal workers. Yeah, it's his
It's
mo, bro.
wild, man.
Yeah.
It's wild. I think that I I I just don't understand how long this can last without someone doing something or saying something. Like, where are our leaders? Where are our politicians in the either party? Because I know there's politicians on both sides who oppose what this administration is doing, no matter what anyone said. They're out there. We only hear about the ones we don't hear about them, but they're there. And everyone's scared to lose their job, whatnot. Where are the politicians with balls? Where are they? How do they allow this shit to happen? Like, don't you have to have some like Congress vote on this to send troops into our own city? Doesn't it have to be some sort of what emergency are we having there?
Um,
This is going to be a really fucked up episode.
not going to be easy to edit.
Yeah, man. So we've been having some difficulty with mics and internet connection has been weird. So
Headphones.
headphones. Yeah, apologize about that. But anyways, I was believe we were talking about Escalator and just when are we gonna have some politicians who have balls in this country? Because right now we live in my opinion, we live in the twilight zone. It's so weird. It's like where the Constitution's gone, and no one on the side on that side is willing to say, yeah, that's pretty fucked up. They all just want to follow the herd, and they're like, oh no, there's an excuse for it. It's okay. Sure, the First Amendment right is being taken away from us, but there's a reason. You shouldn't be saying that. hate speech, this, that, and the other. And that boils back down into Jimmy Kimmel. So listen, I've never been a big Jimmy Kimmel fan. I don't really watch late night TV. I think he has some funny bits, but I also think he has the fucking right to say what he wants to say without persecution, because he's like, okay, if he was to say something about Charlie Kirk that was like evil spirited and like what some of these other morons are saying that he deserved to die, which is bullshit. But if he was to say something like that, I get it. Understood. Yes, get him the fuck off. That's there's no need for that.
Advocating violence.
Yeah. They're saying they're saying like he did this thing where he was blaming certain people for what happened when that's not really what happened. That's not what he said. But here's the thing. Free speech is free speech. Now, you need to know your platform. If it's going to lead to something that's violent, if it's going to, okay, I get it. There's some lines that you can cross with that. But he was saying wasn't that bad. It was a joke about basically the president like that. And they've been going after free speech since they got in office, and they're only targeting the left. And that's all it is. It's just a target. They're just targeting the left. They started with Colbert, and now they're getting Kimmel. I'm sure Jimmy Fallon will come in soon, and they'll try to get him. I don't know what they can do to him. He's so lovable. Uh, but
Even Colbert and Kimmel, bro, they're like, if you want to talk about like non-threatening personas, they're like not leftists or anything like that. They're just satirists. Are they?
Jimmy Kimmel is a leftist.
I don't see that's. I don't
He
think you know what.
is.
I don't think you understand what a leftist is. I don't like that. I don't like the conflation of leftists and liberals. It's not right. They're two different things. And if you
I
say
don't.
that a leftist is a liberal or a liberal is a leftist, that's really just showing that you don't understand the history of either of those terms. They're completely different things. And leftists don't like liberals. They think liberals are in the way. But to say, I don't know. I think there's a huge distinction, a really huge distinction. You could say that Colbert and Kimmel and even maybe to some extent Fallon are liberals. I think to try and put the leftist terminology on them is to accept what the right is trying to do with the term leftist and how they're trying to make liberals into that, because it's hard. It's impossible. You have to understand, liberalism was born in the idea of two things: democracy and capitalism. How the fuck do you run against liberal, like the genuine root of liberalism, right? Leftism has different mechanisms involved, and there's people I know, who are left leaning, let us say, and they, do embrace some more of those. Hey, if they're gonna here, it's like this. Leftists say to the liberals, you can't try and play fair because the ones over here on the right are not going to play fucking fair. And liberals are like, oh, but I'm liberal, so I want it to be fair. I feel as long as it's a fair fucking field, I don't care if I win or I lose in each particular round. It was a fair match, and I could shake my opponent's hand and say, hey, good match. I'll see you next time. But this is not what the leftists are telling me. That's not what the people on the right are going to do. They're going to say and do whatever the fuck they want or can do to try and beat you. And if you don't try and do the same fucking thing to them, then you're going to lose, and we're all going to lose, because most of the people on the left are liberals, not leftists. And they're the ones who are deciding, like, dude, you know how hard it was to like decide to vote in favor of this Proposition 50 that's going to be here? That sucks, dude. One of our crowning achievements as a liberal state was that we got rid of all this gerrymandering shit and put it into the hands of people who were, judges and shit like that, it was a nonpartisan, or at least a bipartisan group that just made these decisions, and they were safe from politics. They were able to just draw them up based on what the census said. Right now we're going to vote against that. Why? Because fucking Trump and those guys, very Machiavelli of them, they don't give a fuck. They're going to just try and get more votes no matter what. And the leftists are like, oh yes, play by that game. And fucking liberals are like, fuck, I have to destroy myself to defend myself.
I understand.
Anyway,
I understand. I understand what you're saying. When I use it as a broad term, I guess. Leftist, left. I don't see it as a
it's unfortunate that
one
this got the
one
word left.
extreme to the other. I loop. He's a liberal, okay, and I think a leftist is a liberal. I understand what you're saying. I did look it up.
They
I was
won't
reading it.
accept that.
It's
They
it's
won't
the
accept that.
same. It's they're not too far off, but when it comes to the gerrymandering thing, I agree with them. They need to fight fire with fire. You got to do what you got to do in times like these.
Sucks. It sucks, dude.
Why? Why?
Because it was something that we could be proud of, that
Yeah,
we
go
were
back
like,
to it.
we're a liberal state. Why? Because democracy worked that way for us. You know what I'm saying? We were like liberals who are the progenitors of democracy in the first place, the inventors of democracy. Okay, the word liberal and the word democracy have the same genesis. They came from the same exact place and they were talking about the same exact thing. Back then, conservative meant that you thought that the king was God appointed and untouchable and infallible, not infallible, but unapproachable. That they were what a king decided was what God decided. And the reason why God put kings in charge is because normal human beings can't make decisions on their own. Liberalism is no, we can use democracy and make these decisions. And that's when they created parliament. I mean, the United States was a liberal experiment. They're trying really hard to kill the term, Jason, because this is all about branding and it's the better branding. But fuck, in order for that branding to work, everybody's got to understand what these words mean. And a lot of people, they just don't. They'll accept it. They'll accept leftist as liberal. They've conflated that. They just, you
I've
know,
never even known it as anything else. But of course, I haven't looked deep into it. I haven't done my research on the terms.
you go to a
Uh,
community college and take a level 1 political science class and you'll
I'm
learn it in
good.
the first month.
I'm good.
Yeah.
I've done enough schooling in my life. I don't I don't I've gone to college twice. I'm good. No more college for me. I have you to teach me. All right. I can see you're a little annoyed right now by my my
No, not
answer,
annoyed with you.
and I love it.
I'm annoyed at the branding. I really don't like that branding. It
Uh,
happens all the time. Standing up for
anyways,
liberal.
when is that vote? Did it already happen?
No, we just got our sample ballot yesterday, in fact. So it'll be
I hear
November.
it.
It's a
I hear it
special
may
election
not.
in November.
Oh yeah, yeah. Special. I hear it may not pass.
I have no idea how it's polling. I'm not even going to look. I mean, it's a hard sell, even to liberals, Jason.
Well,
We
if
still
you,
want.
we're in a day and age when, like I said in the beginning, where are all the people with balls? Now, I'm not a Gavin Newsom fan at all.
How
I
about
think
principles?
he's,
How about where are the people with principles? I like that too.
well, they need to have this. They're probably one and the same. The ones that have balls have principles. I'm not a
Good man.
big fan of Gavin Newsom. I think he is a smart man. He knows what he's talking about when he speaks. He's a well, he's a great speaker, but I also think he's a weasel also. But in this case, he's right. You got to fight fire with fire at this point because if you don't, you're gonna 2026 is gonna be another loss on the left,
I'll tell you
and
what.
you need to
Newsom
pick up
looks
some
desperate.
seats.
Newsom looks desperate. Okay, to me, he looks desperate. The fact that he's doing this, it's not. I mean, he's a very calculated man. He's not going to throw something up there doesn't that he's not going to support something that he doesn't think is going to win. Usually, he's one of those guys, right? So I think you're right. He's a fighter, and he leans more towards my principles, which is cool. Okay, so I'll make the calculated choice to go with him. It's a kind of a conservative choice on my part, but he does lean more towards my beliefs than to the other side. So, but the fact that he even did this, knowing how hard it's going to be to get it through, I think is should be sobering to all of us. That somebody as calculated as Gavin Newsom looks and sees the threat that's up in front of us and is like, "Oh, fuck." Because what are we? Because if they get to do this, if they can go into your state like they did in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of whatever, just say, hey, we're just going to decide to have 5 more seats for our side, just because. And the other side can't do that because their principles keep them from doing that in some way. And it's also branding and labeling. The other side is so much better at branding and labeling. And if you look at the ads that are going on over here, I don't think that the Yes on 50 crowd is doing a better job than they've connected it to Trump, but I don't know, man. I think if Gavin Newsom is going to get behind something like this, which is such a Hail Mary pass, then we really should take a sober assessment of where we are right now and how fucking close we are to fascism. And to because that's not a Gavin Newsom brand type of move.
Yeah, but he recognizes you got to fight fire with fire at this point. You got to do what you got to do. You got to lower your standards, bro, because standards are at an all-time low. And if you don't
Oh,
lower your standards, you're going to get fucked.
I'm voting for it.
You're going to get
No,
fucked.
no question. I'm
Uh
voting. All 4 of us are voting for it. We all got our ballots. We're all 4 are going to vote for yes on the proposition.
let,
But
let's move
it's
on to
tough.
something I thought was really interesting, if you
Go
don't
on.
mind.
Don't at all.
Candace Owens.
Oof.
Woo!
Oof.
That chick has Dan Campbell size balls. You know who that is if you're NFL fan. But anyways, she has huge, huge, huge nuts. And yeah, she is conservative. Yes, she is uh, extremely conservative, but she is also so smart and has conviction. And I fucking love it. I don't know why. Like, I'm not on that conspiracy theory to the point. I'm not like putting my tinfoil hat back on and like, no, I, I, I don't I don't know how much of what she says is true when it comes to this Charlie Kirk shooter, but God, I am listening every day because she makes a compelling point and she calls people out left and right and they don't respond because they have nothing. They won't. No one is, every show she's like, prove me wrong. Please prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. And she calls out all these people and no one tries to prove her wrong. And now she's saying come Monday, she's going to be breaking some big news. She's saying that the only thing that is true about this case is the gun was his that they found. But everything else she's saying is bullshit. He's not the shooter. His father didn't turn him in. He never confessed.
How did he get picked up? What
I
happened with his
I,
father?
I don't know the details. I just saw that IG post she made. So I guess we're gonna find out on Monday. Uh, she's saying it's all bullshit and it's deeper than anyone is even thinking about. There's videos. She was talking to some dude who took a video and saying the dude on the roof was in tactical gear, and then they're talking about the gun, how that gun was so old that they found the accuracy, it
But it
wouldn't have
had the
been there.
$200 scope.
I don't know too much about the scope. I haven't heard too much about that, but the accuracy wouldn't have been there. Breaking it down on the roof and then re-putting it back together, and then like in the forest where they found it. So they said he put it together on the roof, broke it down on the roof, and then re-put it back together on the in the forest or woods or wherever they found it. And then the text messages, it's just all kind of fishy, and I love hearing about it.
It was a conspiracy theory waiting to happen, Jason. It really, really
Oh,
was.
I know, but she's breaking it down like literally. She started doing this like what 3 days after he was assassinated.
It's
Like,
not stopping people from still being crazy about Charlie Kirk like he's a fucking saint, Then
well, that's neither here nor there. It is what it is. I don't.
you got people on TikTok and YouTube going out there begging the president to like let us go door to door, Mr. President. Let us go and root all of these liberals and
So
leftists out, like those people are losing their jobs and shit. Yeah, but I mean, fuck,
So
that's
I've only
bonkers.
seen one video on that, and it was a gentleman, and then I saw his apology.
Oh, his Mia Copa. Yeah, I saw that too. Yeah.
Yeah, how he said, I mean, listen, people get incensed when they feel they've been wronged. I'm not too worried about
No,
that.
no. When people who like fetishize weapons and have guns in their possession, then turn around and say, "Hey, Mr. President," after believing all kinds of wild and crazy shit that that president had said in the past, they turn around and say, "Hey, Mr. President, let us go door to door, da 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 da," and then in some stupid speech 2 weeks later, Mr. President says, "They better be careful, these liberals, or we're going to start going door to door. In fact, I think we should go door to door." And that dude's like, "Oh yeah." Grabs his fucking gun, runs out his house. That shit does scare me. That does scare me. These people
Yeah,
are fucking nuts and they're armed.
yeah. I don't know how we got here, but
Woo, sorry. Candace Owens. Anyway, uh, yeah, we were talking about people turning Charlie Kirk into a saint. So
in through your nose, out through your mouth. I get it. I understand. I understand the fear. I get it because it is a
see
real
what I'm
fear.
saying though.
It is
I
a
mean,
real fear.
this goes back to what we were talking about before. They're trying to make me into a leftist or sound like a leftist so that my crazy fucking neighbor who only has to hear weird shit from the president and he's already got his gun, all he has to do is hear his trigger word and he runs out and he sees me, and I'm like, dude, I'm a liberal, not a leftist. Who gives a fuck? Pow, like
No,
it's
that's when you say, "Hey, go Trump, let me join you." That's how you
oh,
save your life, dude.
but the problem is I've already that my neighbor already knows who and what I am. So,
Hey, man, I changed my mind, man. Fuck liberals. Trump 2028. Let's go. Hey,
such
listen. At
a
some
difficult
point, you got to laugh. We can't be stressed out on every day of our life about this. You got to laugh about some of it. I know it's not all laughing matter, but people are scared. I get it. I'm nervous. Uh, I think everyone needs to arm themselves. So you need to be ready. You need to have some sort of self defense, home defense. And I think you need to learn how to use it and just be ready. That doesn't mean going out waving your weapon around. Just be prepared. Have it be
it's not
prepared.
as easy anymore for me though, Jason, because my daughters are both out of the house. So now I got to start talking to them about maybe you guys need to arm yourselves. But now I don't having a gun in a house where there's a baby is also still not one of my jams. You know what I'm saying? Especially if it's an
Well, yeah,
apartment.
as long as it's in a safe place and you can't get to it. But anyways, that's a whole nother
Yeah.
subject. I
We
know
should talk
everyone's
about that
scared.
sometime.
I get it.
You know that I was like anti-gun for the longest freaking time. When I was in my
Yeah.
20s, I probably am like, oh yeah, make them illegal. It's stupid. We don't need to. Let's be like England or yada yada. And then obviously we've lost that war, so there's no way you can get the ink back in the bottle as far as that's concerned. But now maybe we need to be like the Netherlands. I think they're the ones. Could be Denmark. I think it's the Netherlands though, where they like one of those places has like 85% gun ownership. The country, and they take it really, really, really fucking seriously. So much so that you're given like one fuck up. Like if you do one thing that is irresponsible with your weapon, you lose it forever. And now you're like an outcast in a society where everyone they go out and they shoot, That's what they do. They have these big carnivals and they all go out and they shoot as a community, all these different kinds of weapons, and then they're done. And they secure their weapons and put them all away. And then they all go get stupid drunk and dance and party and do all this stuff. And nobody ever dies from I mean, very few people die from irresponsible, management of a firearm. It's weird, but I think that's where we have to go now at this point. Liberals have got to go buy guns. You're right about that. It's just,
I don't know if we can ever get to a place where it's like that here, but I do believe that you're right. Everyone should own a weapon to protect themselves. And yeah, I think it's our God-given right. I do believe that we need some parameters, but I don't know how that's ever going to happen. I mean, we have these shootings every single day, mass shootings. It seems like I believe this is my theory. Back in the day, before the interwebs, we also had mass shootings. We just didn't. And then a mass shooting is what, more than 3 people shot, or is it more than two? I don't know what it contains. I don't know the actual definition. I believe they were there. They just weren't as prominent. But I also believe it's much more now. Obviously, the school shootings back are were never. We didn't have those ever since Columbine. It's been a steady uptick in school shootings. Yes, and
The
then what we had a we
capability to do harm is increased though too, Jason. Like the weapons that are available, readily available, can carry more, you know, carry more rounds, do
I
more
don't think
damage.
I don't think it's the weapons. I think it's the internet. I think the internet is everything. Internet puts these in their head. I think the internet. I mean, these guns have always been around. They have. There.
Just
It
not
does.
that, but not as accessible. I mean,
I wouldn't go that far either because look how many guns are owned by how many Americans in the world, and I guarantee, or Americans in the world, Americans in this country, and I guarantee even back then, the parents had guns available the kids could get. It's the
but
internet.
there's a different there's
It's
a difference between having an 8 round clip in a bolt action rifle or having, a clip like in a handgun that's got 12 rounds in it and then having to physically remove it and reload that, and also not having as many weapons because there was an assault weapons ban until in the 90s, and that did ban certain types of high muzzle velocity types of weapons, and it's the weapon itself. Like, would you rather get shot with a 9 millimeter round in your shoulder or a AK-47 or that style
okay.
of
Okay.
weapon, assault
Listen,
weapon?
listen. Okay, I understand where you're going with this, but
Right.
if the internet was around back then and we still had these parameters, I guarantee you it would still be a general. It would come to where it is now. You just have different guns. You can still kill
So
with any gun. I'm
so
telling you, it's
maybe it's
the
those two
internet.
things together though, Jason. Maybe it's those
I
two
mean,
things
maybe.
happening.
I think if the guns were old, we didn't have these guns, we'd still have these shootings
Yes, but they
because
wouldn't do much damage, and so they wouldn't get as much,
I mean
how are you
damage. But
think
see, you're taking
think
the
about the Las Vegas shooting. Think about the Las Vegas shooting. Just if this would have been 1987 or 88 or 92 when the assault weapons ban was in place, that shooting could not have claimed as many victims as it did. How many injured? In the hundreds, dead in the 40s, 50s. You just because you would lack the ability to be able to it wouldn't matter if you had a bump stock. You wouldn't have the kind of rifle that can actually activate a bump stock. You wouldn't have had those extended cartridges where you could just set it up on a tripod and boom, let it go, and then go set up another one. I mean, that kind
but
of thing could have never happened.
oh, understood. And that was a grown ass man. Understood. I understand that, but you're taking it. I'm saying any shooting is a bad shooting, so you're just
Right.
taking it as it wouldn't be as bad. But there's still the shooting's still going to be there. It's still going to be epidemic. It's still going to be a problem. You know what I mean?
I think what I'm trying to say is it's a combination of both what you're saying and what I'm saying, that two things have happened at the same time. The internet, which is a huge mistake, especially social media, has done what you've said and reoriented the way that people think, and
Mm-hmm.
also at the same time the ability to create carnage has increased as well, and it's
Okay.
been easier and more
Fair enough.
available.
Fair
Those two
enough.
things.
I agree with that. I agree with that. But I still think there'd be carnage even with the availability
Yeah,
of the
because
of
you
the
can make a bomb. I mean, think about Oklahoma City. Probably fewer people today are making, manure bombs because you don't have to, because you can just go buy a couple of AK-47s and hit a local elementary school and do, that kind of damage. Like it's so horrible to have these conversations, Jason.
I was about
This
to
part,
say, I was about to say on that uplifting note,
oh my god,
what an uplifting show we had today, Jim.
oh man,
Everyone
so
is.
full of sunshine.
Can you tell me a joke to end the show? Got anything?
Uh,
Come on. Let's end on an uplifting note. Jim is going to tell us a joke, probably the funniest joke you'll hear all day. All right. I'm going to hand the floor over to Jim in three,
It's going to
two,
be an
one.
inappropriate joke. Inappropriate joke. You ready? Here we go.
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's do it.
So there's these 3 prisoners and an experimental warden, right?
Mhm.
Say sometime around the turn of the century, 1900s, and he has gotten leave from the governor to punish these prisoners in whichever way he sees fit. So he takes them out to the orchard and garden in the prison, and he tells each of the 3 of them to go out there and pick as many of their favorite fruit as they want. First guy comes back, he's got strawberries. It's like, excellent. He has the one of the guards start to shove the strawberries up the guy's ass. Next guy comes back, he's got peaches. Guard shoving the peaches up his ass, but he's laughing and laughing. He's like, what the fuck? And all the dude could say is pineapple. Points at the other. There you go. There's our joke.
On that note, I want everyone to have a blessed week. Be happy. Try to find the good in someone.
Yes.
I think that's I try to find the good in everyone. I know it's not easy all the time, but try to find the good in someone. Everyone could use a hug. Hug your friends. Make it weird.
Yeah, make it weird is good.
Make it weird, because you never know.
Yeah.
Life changes so quickly. So have a great week. Thank you for tuning in. And if you're still here, which I doubt anyone is, we love you. All right, Jimbo.
Have a good week, Jay.
Later, brother. Peace.
Yep.